tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome to the after show for Daredevil Season 1, Episode 9, Speak of the Devil. We are your stalwart crew, constantly changing, seemingly.
Cheers.
That's what it seems like. I'm Mark Donica, I'm your host, and I'm joined by a wonderful team. We just keep mixing and matching everybody. So follow me on Twitter, Soapbox Mark, and I'm in the chat. What about you guys?
Micheal Andrew. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Micheal_Drew, Micheal EAL, and I'm glad to be back. I love coming here.
We're glad to have you.
You were here last time I was here.
I know. Well, hello,
you're
welcome.
gonna get a whole lot of me today. A whole lot of me.
Well, it's always interesting having you here because you're. I'm sorry.
No. You'll never know who I am.
I never knew in the first place.
Okay, anyways, I'm Jamie Elias. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Jamie S. Elias. Back to you.
No, not back to me. I apologize for interrupting. It's always. I think it's great to have a perspective of somebody who watched it all, and somebody who you can kind of look at and be like, I wonder if this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then just see how the single bead of sweat dripping down your eye. But
yeah,
I promise no spoilers.
Yes, no spoilers, and I apologize for watching it all. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
But when I first did it, because I'm not on the panel, so I initially watched it as a fan. So I binge watched it. I went 4 days straight and went crazy.
This episode was a doozy.
Yes, it was.
I
haven't heard doozy in a while.
A very comic book word, doozy. A very Stanley word.
What a doozy!
Yeah.
What a doozy this episode was.
It's like a Batman 60s punch word. Doozy. So speaking of the devil, we're gonna break this up a little bit, by character storyline. But it starts with Matt getting the absolute crap beat out of him by a ninja in red. We have no idea who this man is, but he has an awesome chain hook blade that is just slicing Matt apart.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just gross. One of the rare times we see him on the ropes. But he doesn't give up. He ends up getting a little bit more of an offense in, goes for his front flip 360 kick, totally whiffs it, but then we are left with the ninja in control about just here we go. Nope.
Yeah, and he gets gutted. The ninja guts him, right? It goes around and you hear it. He really gets a whooping.
This
it was good. I mean, it was nice to see him. It was a great way to intro it, and just him making him look so vulnerable and really get he really got spanked.
He did, and splitting up the fight into 3 separate parts was beyond maddening. It was really angry to get the middle of the fight, then the beginning of the fight in the middle, and then the only part that made sense, the end of the fight at the end of the episode.
Yeah, they did do that, but it's good. It kept you watching. As opposed to,
you know what?
It and leaving.
I'm done. I saw that scene. I am not watching this show anymore.
Actually, I'm out.
Daredevil, STFU. So done. We then see Matt at the church. He's chatting with the priest. These conversations are absolutely fantastic.
I know. I love
it. It helps just because of how the show started with the confessional and how it's gotten more personal as opposed to just bless me, Father, for I have sinned. All right, go ahead, confess, whatever.
And he gets kind of real badassy this episode.
He does. We get to learn more about him. The great thing about these shows, and in most Marvel shows, is that we have side characters. It's a really fleshed out world. What do you guys think of the priest in this episode? I mean, more than what you said.
Well, no, I'm gonna stick with badassy. How he was just really. He just seemed authoritative. Mm-hmm. And he just seemed to assert himself. And later on, when he's telling him that story, I don't want to get too far ahead, but he tells him a story. And then when he just shuts him, when Matt tries to jump in, he just cuts him down. Hey, did I finish talking yet? Am I done? He seems like a New Yorker.
Yeah.
There you go, like a New York priest.
Totally. I appreciate the priest character because in a lot of ways, he's not like a stereotypical Catholic priest or a father that you would go, same thing, but that you would go and see. Like, I think of somebody who's very upright and strict, but he seems like he's very open and he's very, hey, come talk to me, let's go have a latte.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I would love to come have a latte with you. And like even his stories and the way that he presents himself, he's a very personable, likable character. I'm into him.
And sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I was gonna say I would join his church.
I would too. God seems cool.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? He makes God seem all right.
This God guy, this God fellow.
You know what? I'm gonna convert. This is
And I'm happy they didn't go the stereotypical way of giving him like an Irish accent or something. I know. But he's very much.
So true.
This is what they do.
So true.
But they made him kind of a modern priest, which is cool. This whole discussion about the devil. Do you believe in the devil? The devil is inconsequential. Talk about kind of the history of the translation of Satan, which was interesting to listen to. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That Satan was just a word for enemy or rival, and then they changed it to be one dude.
Totally. I actually have a minor in biblical studies.
Bring it.
I know. And so as this episode was going on, I was like, what? I'm so curious about this. So I had emailed professors that went to my college, and everything that he said was fairly accurate. And so it made me go back. And it's one of those kinds of things when you hear something like that, that makes me want to know more about it. And I really appreciate, especially because there's a lot of religious undertone in the comics, it seems like. As I was going back, I was seeing a lot of symbolism that way. So it's just really cool how Netflix has integrated that religious aspect, even if you're not Catholic, even if it's just you have a respect for each person's opinion and their religion, and the way they're portraying it is accurate, which I think is pretty cool.
And they didn't present it as the Catholic devil or the Muslim devil or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's just the idea of a devil. And he even says the devil exists among us and is in many forms. He tells us the story of the tribe that he was serving in, and there's this one man that nobody was going to kill because he was too good. He was too good of a person. Even the guards of his own militia that he sent in were like, can we they were going to behead him in the middle of town. It's like, no, can we just shoot him? It's quick and painless. And
nice guy.
All right, let me talk to him. The head of the militia talks to him for hours, and then pulls him out into the middle of the village and rips him apart, eviscerates his family, and it's just like, and that's when I knew that the devil was real.
That was a good story.
But the story he told too reminded me of Fisk. Like, it reminded me of, it wasn't just somebody that is like this creature, like the devil is somebody who lives in hell and who is just a red little man or whatever. It's actual, this show has such a real aspect to it. Everything about each character, like murder for Matt Murdock, is so real. Like in any other superhero movie, you wouldn't hear the superhero going to talk to his priest about murder because he was worried about damnation. Like in the show, he is.
Yeah.
And to hear the devil being portrayed as something that, hey, that actually exists on Earth, and people believe that that's pure evil and that's the devil, and that's how Matt sees Fisk and his internal battle with that, I thought it was a great way to tie it in.
Totally agree.
Cosign. Cosign.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Double agree.
We'll agree.
We head into the law office, and we have Ben, Foggy, and Karen talking about how Fisk coming out into the world totally ruined everything. Now we got nothing. We have to start from square one. Holy crap. But he reveals that, well, he is introduced to Matt and doesn't recognize his voice. It's fine. We'll go with it. But he reveals that the masked man had left him some information. They're like, holy crap, this is it. But they have nothing to do with it now because Fisk is such a pariah, seemingly.
And it seems like it keeps looking more and more difficult for Matt to catch him. So I think it's just playing more and more with his psyche about whether he should just kill him. You know,
Really?
like he's like, you know what? We've got no choice. The only way, like no one has any idea how to get Fisk. Like he just keeps thinking us. We can't do law. We can't do anything. So Matt's just like, should I just kill him? You know, I feel like that's the back and forth that he's.
That seems to be the internal struggle that he's dealing with, and we see it later in the show too.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was great in this scene how Matt constantly, you saw him trying to like get into the conversation. Like they made it deliberate where you would see him like, and then somebody else would continue, but I wonder what he was trying to say because they filled it in a little bit too
Guys,
well.
I'm Daredevil. Damn it. Guys, I was gonna do it now.
And I was reading the LA Times, and something a commentator said really struck me. The whole series, it seems like Fisk is playing chess, and Matt Murdock's playing checkers. So Fisk, everything is like a calculated motion and a move, and Matt's kind of going off of his emotions, and like Fisk really played that in this episode. Like every single move he's made he knows he has I'm sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? No, he has this appendage to women and children. Yeah, I was like, come on, Jamie.
Emotions.
He's emotional
He
about, exactly. He cares about women and children, and so he's playing that to his advantage. He kills an old woman to kill. Like, it's just this huge calculated chess game where it seems like Matt just seems to be getting the next move, and he's actually has a strategy. It seems like Fisk has a strategy.
And no, go ahead.
No, I was going to sorry.
We both saw the opportunity.
I think that this episode I saw the most from Matt in terms of, like, anger wise. Like, he just seems to have I think he has a temper just like Wilson. Like, that's what I left this episode with. Like, man, he just seems so temperamental, so much more temperamental than I expected him to be. Matt Murdock, because more often than not the hero's like, he's emotional, a little calculated, but here he's just like so angry. He gets angry so quick and just right on his emotions.
And we definitely saw that previewed with the episode with Stick, and it's just been getting worse and worse for both of them seemingly. But with Fisk, it's something on the part of the writer and the directors that are still giving us a little bit of pity for him and a little bit of like, oh, but he had a tough time. So when it's hard to see him like the duality of it. You saw him as the nice boy who was forced into these terrible things, and you wonder how much of that is still there, especially with the cufflinks. Well, not anymore, but and then he's just capable of such terrible things. It's a wonderful duality.
And what's the thing the priest says later? Even Lucifer had a family, right? Is that what he said?
Well, even Lucifer was an angel.
Yeah. So I like that's why we're not supposed to judge.
Yeah, I like the saying, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. I like that saying a lot. They decide to go forth with the West Holt contracting. Karen is like, everybody should really like the man in the mask because he kicks ass. That was fun because Matt got a little bit of fun out of that. But when
Ladies
we
always like him. As the blind guy, they like him. As a ass-kicking superhero, they like him.
Well, especially the ones that see it in action, because there's still the city that doesn't know, that believes the social media and
Ladies
everything.
like Matt. I'm just saying. Do you like Matt?
Yeah, I do. I do like him. I do.
And that was
that was my corner in Ladies Like Matt. Thank you. All right.
Make sure to subscribe. So we see Wesley and Fisk talking about how well his coming out party has been handled, and we find out that Nobu was promised a certain city block. Was promised a city block. He picked it out already, but that's where the development where Miss Senora Cardenas came from, and Fisk has to decide. He has to make he has to make a choice in order for Nobu to stay kind of in the fold. Sort of an additional backlash to Madame Wu in the last episode. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. But there's something fun in the scene that I hope I wasn't just looking at because I'm a fan. When Nobu bursts in, they call to Francis, the door guard. Francis is a long word for Frank. This could be Frank Castle, Punisher, confirmed. Come on. It's not. Yep. So you believe it? Yeah. Yeah. But it's like they don't name check guards. That's the thing. So I was like, Francis, why'd you call him Francis? Francis Frank. He messes up. They kill his family, and all of a sudden he's got a bunch of guns and a skull on his shirt.
No, I would think that even if that was Frank, he'd be a little tougher than that. He's not gonna get just an arm bar like, all right, tap out. Okay, bye guys. And he's gonna be the one. And he's gonna be the Punisher.
I didn't say it was a perfect theory.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not gonna go with it. I mean, but that's a good reach though.
Yeah, I'd like reaching.
Francis, Punisher, Frank Castle. Oh.
You never know with Netflix, man. They come out.
That's true. That's
they take a left turn and they don't use their signal.
That's the next sort of big request that people want is now that they're going to be two series shooting side by side. Why not? Why do just the 4?
No, he would be perfect. He'd be a perfect one for especially for the gritty New York thing to go in with.
Oh, speaking of series, Nobu wearing red, definitely the Hand. Now we for sure know he's the Hand. But do you guys feel like because nothing's been explained about the Hand or any kind of that aspect of it, do you guys think that like this is just like Iron Fist, like just small inclinations towards the series of Iron Fist? Do you think that there should have been more explanation to that?
I definitely think they're going to leave it open. You can't talk about nothing.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna leave it open so that you have all of the right questions when the series is over, so that when the next series starts, you can still have those questions in your head and maybe they can address them there.
Sneaky Netflix. I feel the same way.
I've never known the hand to be I've always known it to be
careful.
more. No, I'm not gonna say anything crazy. But I've always known the hand to be more Daredevil than because I didn't read a lot of Iron Fist in my comic booking days. But
Well, they share the same sigil.
yeah, okay, all right. I've always known the hand more so like Wolverine and Daredevil. So that's great. I didn't know that might lead to that. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a cool
Maybe.
way to do it, Netflix.
Maybe.
Keep watching. Back in the law office, Senora Cardenas comes back, finds out that they doubled the offer from before in the episode with her case to get her out of the building so that they can fix it back up. Matt thinks that she should actually take the offer, but the others don't.
This was so suspense over surprise for me. Like this part of the episode, I was like, gosh darn it. She's gonna die. Like as soon as she said it, I was like, she's dead, man. She's gone. She gone.
She
No,
She gone. She gone.
walks in.
I know.
She go.
And so as soon as that happened, I was like, crud. Like this is all gonna lead to something. She's gonna die. What's gonna happen next? And so I was held in suspense rather than being surprised when I heard that she died. I was like, okay, she's dead. Now what's gonna happen?
I didn't. Yeah.
Didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming either.
Really?
I didn't
Gosh,
see it
and
coming
I was
either.
so surprised. I hate to be so dark, but that Netflix didn't show her dying. Because we've seen a lot. No,
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but we've seen a lot of like heavy stuff. We saw a kid get kidnapped. We saw Claire got the crap beat out of her. We saw that scene in the jail with Karen and getting strangled by the guard. I'm just surprised they weren't raw with it, but maybe they left it that open just so that we could feel the repercussion rather than feel the actual crime itself.
Because it's a lot more of a shock
Yeah, it was
than
very
actually being
surprising.
like, oh, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. No, don't do it. Then it's just, they did it. Holy
Yeah.
crap. So,
Oh man,
yeah,
I wasn't shocked at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I feel like a dumb.
No, don't feel dumb. I just am a pessimist. I
Well,
was
it's because
like,
of
she did.
it's the way that her character was presented in her episode was just like this never say die attitude.
Yeah, she
as
was
long
cute.
as she believes in people believe in her, and you saw that it worked in the last episode. So you're like, cool, something, she dead.
Oh, man.
That was
She fought the man, and the man killed her.
As soon as Nobu won at that place, I'm like, oh. Like, in my head, I was like, poor Mrs. Cardenas.
I thought they would have done something like burned it to the ground
Yeah.
or
With-
something.
Mrs. Cardenas would have been in there. Like,
Yes, but we wouldn't have seen the autopsy
You're
table.
right. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't think they'd do such a good, like she got stabbed to death. Someone got her, and then because even when they said that she got
Yeah.
stabbed, you kind of picture like, oh, Miss Cardenas is walking.
I know, but
Oh,
the whole way
sweet.
she died, so it's a chess game for Wilson Fisk. Like, he hired a drug addict and it wasn't even him who hired him. His people hired a drug addict to kill Miss Cardenas, and then made the whole thing set up so every piece wouldn't lead back to him. Every single thing, his thing was covered, unless the Daredevil came and beat the crap out of somebody for information. Like, it was so calculated. I thought it was
Well,
brilliant.
Fisk says that at the end. It's like, I didn't think it would take you this long. Like,
I know, like,
I know.
like I thought you were smarter.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You jerk.
David with Goliath. This whole.
Possibly the greatest dialogue scene, I think, in the whole series so far.
Well, which one?
Matt visits Vanessa at the gallery and starts
loaded.
to exactly. That's the thing, is when it's subtext, like Inglourious Bastards at the end when everybody's sitting watching the movie, and then they have the shot down at the ankle where they've got the TNT on the legs. They're like, whoa, it's like, what's gonna happen?
So loaded. Suspense.
But it was
surprise.
like so much subtext loaded in such charming dialogue.
Yeah.
Matt being charming, Vanessa being charming and disarming.
Totally.
But just the ask about what about, do you have a man in your life? Oh, Matthew, I'm not single. It's all of that just schmaltzy BS. But then it was like,
With the painting.
you could always ask him yourself.
Yeah,
I
that
was just
was
like,
crazy. Like, it's going down.
Audible gasp. I was like, oh, he's there. He's there.
everything tightens.
That was kind of brave. I didn't think Matt would do that. Like, he would. I didn't think he would go after his woman.
Well,
I think
Like,
he was
aren't-
just going after information. I think it was more of like a friendly, like, he'll never know, she'll never know. I'm just going to go see if I can get her to spill the beans. But it seemed like when he walked in and she led him directly to a red,
Yeah.
angry rage painting, I'm
Yeah.
like, does she know? Does Vanessa know?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, we know she doesn't, but it was cool that that was...
I thought it described
that
them
was
both.
really
It described Fisk and Murdoch.
There's so many parallels between their characters. Their
Yeah.
characters are pretty much the same except for with different visions of themselves and end goals, I feel like.
Two sides of the same coin, would you say?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Oh, you need to come visit us more.
Thank you. Michael, EAL_Drew.
Holy
okay.
smokes.
All right.
That was so dramatic. That was amazing. That was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Fisk waxing poetic about his intentions for the city, and Matt just like, I know this dude he killed somebody, and just like, I'm gonna go. just really, just out of the blue, you can tell that he was bothered by it, but it was still just like, I gotta get out of
Or
here.
even the end line, I gotta consider the price that I have to pay. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Like every line means something. There's always like a double.
I didn't
like,
catch that.
There's always something.
No,
I didn't catch that either.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
you're so right though. That was the best dialogue that we've seen so far in the show.
And it wasn't even a
Absolutely.
lie. It was really subtle. It wasn't even like
100%.
back and forth.
That was great.
And we got to see more of what made us like Vanessa as a
Totally.
character in the first place, which is just like, here's this woman who's really emotional and about art, and it's very expressive of her as a character, where you don't. It's like people saying, I'm a rough edges cop and I'm on the edge. Like, instead of just saying that stuff overtly, she's telling us about herself through art, and it's constructive as opposed to very on the surface.
The character depth in the show is incredible. It's really, every single character has been developed so perfectly. This episode, I'm going to take it here, guys. This is my favorite episode so far of the series. Everything was so calculated, and you learn so much about the characters, and everything is so meticulous. Favorite episode. Saying it, guys. Putting it out there in the universe.
Stamp.
Favorite episode.
Okay.
I just like chain hook blades. That's just me on
Yeah.
fight scenes.
That's enough to make me like it. Yeah. Like a
There was
ninja.
no
That was
eye
pretty cool,
injury
too.
though. There
I
was
know.
no eye.
Guys, I don't think there's been one for the last 2 episodes. I'm getting a little upset.
I mean, at least you keep hanging onto the counter.
I'm
though.
trying,
We
man.
got more. We got 4 more episodes.
Well, as someone who's binged, guys, you're not gonna believe. No, someone's eye is going to go bananas.
He's gonna turn into a banana just like
I
Red.
know.
Or someone's gonna get impaled with a banana. It's just gonna just curl through.
That's the
and
only
open
hint.
it and take a bite.
That's the only hint.
Oh my gosh.
Not the eye, the banana. Matt goes, or presumably Matt leaves the art gallery and goes directly back to the church. Sits in the pew right behind him, which is fun. Is like, how do you know I was sitting here? That's whatever. It's not important.
I think the
Yeah,
priest,
yeah.
don't you think the priest like kind of knows? Like he has to know. He's like, there's something special or.
No, he knows. Didn't he say at the beginning of the
Yeah, he said it in the beginning
knows.
conversation. It was like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Like everybody
Well,
knew
no,
Battle
but
and
he-
Jack
but he
and what happened to
knows-
his boy.
Exactly, but he definitely knows that he's Battle and Jack's boy. But don't you kind of think he knows? Like, I think you're the man in the mask. I think.
No, I don't think that much. I don't think that much. I
I think
think
the
just
priest
like
goes there.
you're a special boy.
You're a special boy.
Oh, you're a special boy.
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been the dialogue if he
You're
actually
the
was.
special
I
boy.
don't know, man. I kind of think he knows.
And this whole talk was, it brought to light. I mean, that's an overused thing in the series anyway. But it brought to light
works.
Matt's seeming intentions about murdering Wilson.
That was another good piece of dialogue.
Totally.
That back and forth between them.
Does
that
he
was a
have
really
to,
good
or
one, too.
does he want to?
Yeah, exactly.
Struggling with the fact that he doesn't want to kill him but has to, or that he doesn't have to kill him but wants to. And
What do you think?
I think I liked what he said at the end when he said he doesn't think that Matt went there for insight on how to kill him, but for a reason not to.
Yeah,
and
that's-
I liked that because he's fighting the temptation just to do it, but the better part of him, his better head, is like, I can't do this.
He's
And
looking for other options. Like, please don't make me kill this guy. So he doesn't want to kill him if you're looking for reasons.
I like the line, there's a wide gulf between inaction and murder, because it was like, dude, you're freaking out. You don't have to kill the guy. You can do something.
I thought it was so cool though how they're making this such a big deal.
It
Like
is?
no, it is exactly to me and you it is, but to like any other superhero who kills random henchman number 1 and doesn't think about it, you know what I mean? There's like no consequence. But for Matt Murdock, they're portraying him as this character who, hey, this could mean like eternal damnation, or this could mean like I'm not the person I thought I was, or this could mean I'm turning into somebody that I don't want to be as a human, like as a real life, down to earth person. And I think that's just, they're nailing that home. I think that's so cool. It's so different from any other superhero movie I've ever watched.
I agree. He's flawed, kind of. Would you say flawed?
Yeah, I would say
He's flawed because he's a Catholic.
Well,
I mean, we all are. Let's be honest.
well, no, but you see him more. And I think the last time I was here, we were doing the pretty much comparing him to Bruce Wayne a lot.
Yeah.
right? And it's like Bruce is a little more, more like James Bondish, where he's less scarred, less gritty. Where this guy's probably more like Jason Bourne, where he's more.
Yeah.
Well, Batman's
gritty
guilt
issues.
comes from his parents as opposed to God.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more intense. It's also a bit of this the whole same coin thing you did, because.
But I just
We
need the
s-
second guessing. Like I would never think you. I've never seen anyone interpret Bruce Wayne in a way of like they're second guessing himself. Like should I punch the Joker? Maybe I should kill the Joker. Should I do this? But Matt Murdock, he's like,
And even if you take God out of the picture, I think he's afraid of losing himself rather than, even if we take this whole religious aspect out of the show, I think that he would still be battling with this in his mind because he's this character who believes in justice and believes in doing the right thing and being just, and is killing him being just, or does he just want to? I think like it comes down to that.
I also liked the priest mentioned the contaminated well, where it doesn't just affect you, it affects the whole town.
Totally.
So him becoming the person that everybody else thinks he is would be even worse for the city than that. But it's also, we see Wilson not struggle to kill a person in this episode, whereas Matt's like, I think I should, but I don't. This is like, you see how much it affects Matt and how little it affects Wilson at this point, which is another.
I didn't even notice that.
I know.
either.
I didn't look at it like that.
When you're talking, I mean, that same coin thing, it really
That's
got
crazy.
me. But that's what really made me think
Totally.
like, yeah, that's the same but different.
There's
feel-
so many parallels, but they're just that one huge moral compass that's just not the same.
He didn't feel bad about Miss Cardenas. And then he goes on and he does the speech. Because when he was doing the speech the first time, I thought, okay, maybe he didn't expect her to die.
Yeah.
But then when they had the conversation later, he's like, nah,
I didn't-
killed that chick. Okay? I had to.
But then
Things
he,
happen.
Then he does something that's so like, but I didn't want to. Or what did he say? He was like, I was bummed about the. He didn't say bummed, obviously, but he was like,
That
I
would've
was
been awesome
upset.
if he said bummed.
I know. He was like, I was upset about the
Bro,
circumstance.
totes bummed about this killing,
Bro,
yo.
totally bummed about Miss Cardenas. No,
Anyway.
but he was. But didn't he say something like, I was upset about the consequence that it
Yeah.
caused, or whatever Wilson Fisk would say, and it didn't seem genuine at all. I was like, no, you weren't. You just wanted him in your warehouse so that Nobu could either kill him or he would kill Nobu, or they would kill each other.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi. Okay, sorry.
No, but it's weird though, because anytime he talks, he has this sort of regal, this regal thing about him. But then
didn't
he's
mean to,
just
but-
saying a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
Really, it's just, these words mean something to me. I could have just said I'm sad about it, but I'm going to say it about four. He's like Mojo Jojo. He says the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, good
just
work.
not as.
Oh my gosh, we went
energetic.
there. We went
Reference.
there.
Well done. Good job.
Oh,
Vincent
so
D'Onofrio for
Good
Mojo
job.
Jojo in the movie. That's
Oh
that would
my
be
gosh.
that'd be awesome and terrible at the same time. When we get back to the law office, that's when we find out about Senora Cardenas. They found out that she was killed by a junkie. There was a junkie leaving with a purse. There were multiple stab wounds, and Matt's just like, there's like you can
knew.
every little bit.
I mean,
is
it got
getting
me
to
mad.
him.
It got me mad. I was like, oh. I mean, it was.
Why I gotta mess with Miss Cardenas?
Yeah, because she was every moment she was in the show was not scene stealing, but she stood out. She was very sweet. Everyone has a grandmother. Everyone has an aunt.
Everybody does.
You know, so it's like you see it, you're just like, oh. I mean, I'm Haitian American, so my grandparents, they don't speak English, so I'm there like, oh, this reminds me of my family. And then they stabbed her up. They stabbed her up like it was nothing. 3 episodes. She was there for 3 episodes, right?
Yep.
Making them food.
I know, man. She did nothing but good things.
Trying to get them to hook up.
She did nothing but good things. But guys, you really were surprised.
Yes!
I'm so sorry. And then even when they didn't put 2 and 2 together, when Foggy and Karen didn't go do like Wilson Fisk, I was like, seriously. But maybe I'm just really
You're
pessimistic.
just so dang good.
I'm just really must be just a really pessimistic person. She's the worst in everything.
She's gonna die.
She did.
Everyone's gonna die.
Everyone's
gonna
die.
Oh man.
You're a new supervillain. It cuts back. I say that in the nicest way possible.
Sure, yeah,
We gotta let's figure out her supervillain name. Leave a comment down below, which seems like a perfect time as any to talk about iTunes friends, relatives, anybody listening, whatever. Why not?
Whoever's out there.
Yeah, we're all family here. We're the family of Hell's Kitchen. Why not? Go to iTunes, find our. If you're not subscribed to us on iTunes, it's a great way to listen to us without looking at my sultry mug.
The sultry, great
Yeah,
word.
Steven's in agreement with me. I couldn't think of an S word that was family appropriate because it's the family. Go to iTunes, look for Daredevil AfterBuzz. We're, as far as I know, we're the only straight up after show or review show for Daredevil. Exactly.
Don't jump on board. Leave us alone.
Good. If you want us to keep doing what we're doing, as you may notice, we're doing one episode tonight. We're trying to extend it out because we're trying to get more guests on.
Yeah.
No promises, but we
Just
promise.
saying. But we,
No promises,
we promise.
but we
we can
promise.
promise a surprise coming up.
Yes, we got some fun stuff coming up, including stuff that involves you, the viewer. So if you go to iTunes, leave us a rating. Be honest. Leave a little bit of text. Leave
Only
some
if it's
stars.
nice.
Only if
Just
it's
kidding.
nice. Go on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us comments. Tell everybody you know about it. Tell your enemies about it, especially if you don't like us. And if you want to talk to us on Twitter throughout the week, use the hashtag ABTVDaredevil, and we will talk to you.
Swearsies.
We're not promising anything, but we promise. So when we come back into the episode, it's a quick cut back to the fight. And Matt
the
is
middle-
getting
the
his
middle part,
ass rocked continuously.
So bad.
We see the reveal of Nobu, which probably could have put together.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I knew it was Noble, but I don't know. Why'd he take it on himself to do it?
I kind of like
challenge.
Nobu. Like see, here I go again with my pessimism and no, I kind of did though. I thought he was a worthy opponent. The way he was talking, you know what I mean? I was like, man, he can fight just as good as he can, and even a little better. Because
Yeah,
didn't
he
he
was-
accidentally set himself on fire at the end?
No, he didn't accidentally.
Okay,
It happened.
okay, sorry, never
It
mind.
just that's through Matt.
But I liked everything he was talking about respect. Like, it will be an honor to kill you. I
You're
was
a
like,
worthy
yes!
opponent. It is an honor to claim your,
And
I
your
know.
life.
What was
I thought
Matt's
Nobu
response?
was pretty cool. Something about like you have to deserve respect, or
I'll give it to you when you earn it.
I know. I mean, they stayed so true to their characters, but I hated Nobu the entire series. I'm like, what a jerk, man. He just comes in and yells. And this time I was like, okay, Nobu, like, you're a respectable dude.
Get it? Sometimes you're stressed. Sometimes you gotta yell.
Sometimes you have to. I would
You're the
yell
man. You're the man in the middle. You got responsibilities.
Exactly. I would yell if Wilson Fisk was my boss too. But
Yes.
this episode, I was like, This episode.
This episode.
No. Back to the Catholic priest. No, this episode, I was like, okay, Nobu, I'm down with you. Not
And-
upset you died, but
And dead.
you're
I like you, dead. Stop liking
I
people.
know.
sorry.
This is Cardenas, Nobu. This episode is terrible.
Who's next? We lost the Russians. You like them too.
Oh, the Russians were good too.
Did I like the Russians? I did not like the Russians.
Yeah.
I like the Russians. I like them. I mean, I like the second brother, the last one who passed.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Vlad.
That last episode, he really showed a lot.
I don't think I disliked them. I just didn't really care about them. I was like, they're gonna die.
Yeah, when his brother passed.
You are the pessimist.
They're gonna die.
You got a big P on your chest.
I'm
You're the
sorry.
pessimist.
The pessimist. Oh, that's pretty good.
Pee on my chest. All right, sorry, keep going.
Was that your shimmy?
That was my shit.
That's your entrance when you face your heroes.
Just make your entrance.
Here I am. Here I am, boys. All right. So anyway,
Anyways,
So
Nobu.
no. I mean, Matt. That's when Matt gets hooked
Yeah.
and dragged across the floor.
blood streak,
Oh,
right? Was there a blood
God.
streak?
There, like we saw it when we picked up the rest of the fight, but it was just bad.
Yeah, he got it.
We get to Josie's bar. They get back from seeing Senor Cardenas. Matt
drank it.
Yeah, whole bottle. Just let's do it. Matt doesn't feel right about it. Like it's just nothing's okay. This is a coincidence, and then we see Fisk show up on the TV, and all of that was for the man in the mask.
Yeah.
That was not for the crowd at all, because that was a way to draw him out.
They did a good job of that. Because at this moment I'm watching it, I didn't think that. I didn't think it was a big master plan. I didn't think he was playing chess and all that. I didn't think that until later he reveals. I'm like, oh man, he planned this whole thing. This guy is good. I'm sorry.
hey, I feel you. The whole
BT
episode-
Dubs good.
He's just. I mean, you just see Matt boiling. He's completely, utterly like. I just feel like he's getting closer and closer to the edge. And that night, with the liquor in his system, you know what?
Well, he had one drink.
That's all it takes. Maybe he's a lightweight. We don't know.
No, if he's a Catholic, he's been grown up on wine.
Yeah.
Come on, leave them alone, man.
Oh my God.
Sacramental wine.
But I see what you're, like, the whole episode, I didn't have any clue either. It was a chess game. I was like, what's going to happen?
Oh, you guys didn't see that coming?
Shut up, Mark. I'm not saying I see everything coming, just the people that are going to die, okay?
No, that's fair.
But the whole time I was like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder where it's going to lead him. Blah, 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 blah.
I wonder if he's going to die.
I wonder if he's going to die. Please don't die, Matt. But at the end, after everything comes together and my mouth is just like on the floor, because I'm like, what, how, when, where? And I have to go back, and that's when I'm like, oh, it was a big chess game.
Yeah.
That's how. I see now.
I think the worst thing that Fisk said was, and I'm going to mourn her death.
Oh.
And you just, nope. Gonna find him, gonna kill him, boom, boom, boom.
Gonna find him, gonna kill him.
But that's
Gonna
the thing.
find him, gonna kill him.
That's the thing is like we hear this like this intense music, but inside Matt's like sunshine and lollipops, and
Oh my God.
that's his happy place. Karen wants the Man in the Mask to kill him, and that's where Matt asks if she's religious. She's not. My parents were. Does it help? Not today. Super dramatic, but it was still just like, yeah.
Can you act out every scene, please?
Not today.
Please act out every scene. Not today.
I mean, a lot of things that I do with shows like this is I write down the best, like my favorite lines.
We appreciate
Like
it.
when Matt goes on patrol, or actually no, before that, he when he goes back home, he opens up a chest. We're like, oh, he's wondering whether he should gear up or not, and we find out that he uses a trunk with his dad's old stuff to hide his suit, which is awesome and cool, a little sad.
Yeah, depressing, man.
But it's always a thing to remind him, like, this is for Dad.
This is for Daddy.
Gives a quick prayer, grabs his stuff, and just beats the living crap out of Hell's
Yeah.
Kitchen.
I keep hoping like Battle and Jack Murdoch will make a cameo in a throwback episode.
Yeah.
Like, can you just have one more like vision of your dad? No, nothing. Okay, never mind.
He left such a strong impression.
Yeah, he did.
He was a great character. Okay, sorry, I totally was.
No. I was just gonna jump on board. He whoops New York City's ass. He goes like from like, what was it? He had that one guy in the arm bar, and he was asking for something, and as soon as he was done, you just hear like a pop,
Crack.
like crack, crack, crack. I'm like, oh, sorry, that little sound effect, crack, crack, crack. You know, he just really went on a rampage.
I'm starting to agree with you that this is one of the best shows of the season so far, especially
As you're going along.
Well, no,
and
because
describing it.
this has one of my favorite lines from a non-named character when he goes to the drug den, searches the place, finds the payment money, and the guy's just like totally coked out and just like, oh, I'm seeing somebody here. You can take
Living
whatever.
the heroin
But
life.
then when he throws him up against the wall, he's like, "You real?" Like he totally wakes
Whoa.
up
I
from it.
didn't even realize he said that.
It's really quiet, but he's like, "You real?" And then he totally just poops his pants.
And then when he's whooping him, he's like, "Wait, I'm sick."
Yes.
That's his excuse. Like, I'm
I was
sick.
Jonesing, man, come on. But he throws him in all the empty beer bottles, and he's like, "Oh, yeah." Should have been an eye injury.
What the heck, Netflix? Come on,
that was
come
a
back.
prime spot.
Come
You're
back.
losing us, man. That's the only thing for making this
I'm
a
done
perfect
watching.
episode.
I'm out.
Flip the table, we're out. Tells the guy to turn himself in after pummeling him, and then continue to pummel him. Because if you don't, I'll find you, and I won't stop.
Yeah.
Badass. He's a total badass.
Yeah,
Love
he
him.
really is. He scares me. Not really, but he scares me. Like, I'd be scared of him
Yeah.
if I was a junkie.
I'd be scared of him right
A lot of suppositions here. If I was a junkie, and there was a
junkie.
man in a black mask, and I was really high on heroin,
And I murdered, yeah.
I got a purse out of it too. To my invisible girlfriend. He arrives at the warehouse, checks the plans, so he's like, cool, I'm in the right place. But only after that does he realize that he's not alone. It was really cool to hear, like, you slow down your heartbeat, lowered your body, like, you got to see that there is also this spiritual control that he has, that Nobu has as well. And they fight. He's like, oh, you remind me of the old fool. Which is like, oh, cool, they're the same in the thing. No.
Calling him a warrior and stuff, I was like, what? Iron Fist is coming! Like, something's happening!
Just show up, please.
Come on.
Wait, go back. Why did he remind you of Iron Fist?
He didn't remind me of Iron
Why
Fist.
Oh, it reminded me a little bit of Iron Fist just because he was talking about the old man.
Okay,
And
he was talking about Stick, right?
He was talking about Stick.
About Stick and how he's a spiritual warrior and how he was
Okay.
trained and this and that.
Okay,
And they were
alright.
trained the same way and...
Okay, I thought
the
you guys
hand,
heard
the
something. I
Iron
was like, wait.
Fist. No,
So
no.
you're saying he fought Iron Fist before? I was like, okay.
Possibly.
'Cause sometimes you miss things.
Could have
man.
happened.
We don't know if Iron Fist exists yet.
Yeah,
How tired do you think Matt Murdock is at this point, though? Like, as a human, right? So we found out at the very end when he fights Fisk, he doesn't have super strength. Okay? He's just like a really kick-ass fighter who's already fought like 3 people tonight and then had like the battle of his life.
Yeah.
How tired do you think he was that whole?
That's true.
I was like, man, I wish we got a fully rested Matt Murdock to fight Nobu.
Especially because I'm going through that whole day, that whole like, because he goes to the church after the whole Fisk thing, and then the next morning is when they find out about Senora Cardenas. Then they spend all the time at Josie's, and then he goes out at night.
Drained and
That's a long day, and he's got a little booze in him. It's fine, understandable. But what a day! Then you're stabbed, then you're sliced, and you're gored.
Then Nobu smashes you up, and then you have to fight Fisk, and Fisk
then Fisk is an a-hole about it, man. Fisk is like, you know what, you do it, Wilson. And just like, he's like, I thought that'd be harder, or whatever he said.
know.
Sorry, I go into Fisk voice. I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
It's hard not to.
Fisk voice. I like that Fisk voice.
I do, but he totally, he makes it seem like it's this huge, the whole episode is like this David and Goliath episode, right? Where Fisk seems like he's just unbeatable, and he's on top of his game, and all sorts of stuff. And then at the end, I'm like, all right, you know, I'm expecting Daredevil to kind of come out on top. Even if he doesn't kill him in that episode, the whole time I'm like, you know, he's going to get a couple good punches in and escape. Nothing. He, like, cut his suit, and he was pissed about his suit being cut, and then he beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, and he had, like, a Kevlar under there or something.
Yeah, it's
right?
that suit that, what's his name made? The guy,
Gladiator.
Yeah, the Gladiator.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter. And it's that material that can't be penetrated.
Yeah, well, I expected him to lose.
You expected Fist to lose or Matt to lose?
No, I'm mad. I mean, I didn't think he's probably gonna get. You know, you have to build up Fisk, because in the comic books, Fisk, I was always under the impression he had some level of super strength.
He's just a big dude.
But in the comic books or in the Spider-Man cartoon, there's always a level of like it always makes you wonder: does he have super strength? Because he beats up Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So it's like, but here he doesn't have that. But he's just a big guy who just likes to fight.
And also the movie, like the movie, we have to talk about at some point.
It's
when Michael Clark Duncan like just is this dude in like pants, but he's this huge dude that just throws him around.
Yeah.
Like, so there's just this notion that he's the superpowered dude, but we're getting the idea from this that it's all just powered by rage. It's all just
rage.
straight up anger.
That's his superhero scene, rage.
It's like the Hulk. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets, which is just frightening.
Yeah.
There was a cool ode to Frank Miller's comic book, Born Again.
Oh,
I know I did a little research because I was
Mm-hmm.
curious about it, but basically the premise of it is that the Kingpin lures Daredevil into a trap and beats the crap out of him. So I thought it was like really cool. I mean, there's a lot more to that comic that I'm not going to talk about because they're potential spoiler alerts. But I thought it was really cool that they keep bringing it back to the original, like, 1986 comic.
Well, yeah, that's the quintessential one.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta. Most of the stuff in the Marvel Cinematic Universe pulls from, as opposed to just takes from it.
Absolutely.
So like, that's a fun theme, that's a fun idea, and we get an entirely new story out of it.
Yep.
Well, entirely new.
Yeah.
We get a quick flash back to Josie's. Foggy and Karen are super drunk. Foggy is just torn up about the whole thing. It's like, not her. She didn't deserve it. What's a toast for people who should still be here? And he just totally, oh God.
He's broken up.
Yeah, I mean, that Senora Cardenas had a huge effect on them as a whole.
Had a huge effect on me too.
Foggy totally. Can we pour one out for Miss
No, please no.
I'm just kidding. But Foggy fully showed to you,
To you, Mrs. C.
Senora Cardenas.
Senora C.
Senora, I'm sorry. But Foggy showed his moral compass, I feel like. Because before, if you guys remember, like, episode 3, he was telling her in the beginning, hey, take the money. Like, what are you doing? Take the money, move on. And then her character shaped his moral compass, I feel like. Because he was like, well, Foggy's always been a good guy. We've always known that. But he was definitely all about the money when we first met him. And, like, that's the first impression I got of him. And then this episode, you really see how he's come full circle. And he almost blames himself for telling her to fight the man, and you just see him kind of get crushed over this character who's fully shaped who he is. I thought it was cool. Man, the character depth, the show is so great.
And I like how they also showed how protective he is of Matt. Like he's all over Matt this episode. Like when Matt didn't answer the phone, he's like, "Hey, I don't like it when you don't answer the phone, buddy. I feel like you walk into a manhole."
Little does he know.
But that's always so like it's kind of insulting too. Like you said to your blind friend, "Hey, I feel like you're so blind and dumb that you walk into a manhole." Anyway, I love you, boss.
You're naturally worried about that kind of stuff,
yeah.
even though you know it's just one of those little fears. Even though you know that everything should be all right, and you trust them, you don't trust the world. Yeah. It's like, hey, drive home safe. Not because I know you can drive. It's because everybody else might be drunk. So please be careful. It's that type of a thing. But also we got to see how he and Matt kind of made a promise to the city by being the lawyers and bringing everybody up that started from nothing. Yeah. And then that was a nice feeling as well.
I love this episode liking Foggy more.
Totally. Foggy's great.
Yeah,
really
he's very like in his like the final scene when Matt ends up back home all messed up and he thinks Matt's in trouble and he does everything he can to get inside to try and save his best friend. I thought that was very heartwarming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I like Foggy. I'm rooting for the guy.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna play out next episode. I'm kind of curious about
Neither
that.
do I.
Because Foggy's always kind of been like in the episodes we've seen so far, he's been very like hesitant about the Man in the Mask, and so now that he knows his best friend is the Man in the Mask, it's like, and how does not everybody know who the Man in the Mask is? Can we talk about that for a second? How does Wilson Fisk not recognize? He's talked to Matt Murdock twice, and he's talked to once, and he's talked to Daredevil twice. His voice doesn't change. It's not like he has a Daredevil voice.
Bit.
But even Ben, the reporter,
Ben, I thought if anybody would have been like,
you're actually Daredevil. How does nobody know the voice, man? Well, he has a distinct voice. It's not like he has a voice that's like everybody else's.
and a speech pattern.
True.
Yeah.
But he's the whole blind thing. That really throws people off.
In a black mask.
That's covering his eyes.
And his voice.
But you're not gonna think that a man in a black mask who's a super ninja in a world of superheroes might also be blind.
You're right.
You're not gonna,
But the voice.
I don't think Spider-Man, just because his mask covers his mouth, is a mute.
Yeah, but he's a mute. But he also talks a lot, though.
Yeah, that's...
But different. Okay, you could cover your mouth and I could still hear what you're saying. I can cover my eyes and I can't see anything.
Well,
unless he's got like...
It could just be black silk.
That was me.
I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Could be black silk.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like...
we got a ritzy Daredevil.
Uptown Daredevil.
No, but it looks like if you just put like silk on your eyes or whatever, you can still see through it. Yeah. So, it could be that. I don't think anyone's like, oh...
Alright, maybe the Potter is designing Daredevil's costume.
Maybe.
Too early. Or he's like picking the scraps out from his shop.
Holy smokes. Alright, sorry, that was just a really...
And from chat, Ezekiel Yu, it's not like you immediately expect the blind guy to be an ass-kicking warrior.
You're right, Ezekiel. I'm just saying.
You're right, Ezekiel.
So we get back to the fight. Well, Karen wants to do everything they can to make the people pay. And that's the end of that scene. Seemingly how we leave them until we find out later. I started this section with Matt is bleeding all types of gross out of his side because we see him being dragged and it's just it's just gross.
I like the part where after he gets like thumped by Fisk, you see like the newspapers or whatever the papers are sticking to his open wounds.
I noticed that too, actually. I was like,
oh.
Man, that's a great but it's a great detail.
Yes.
Because that would happen in real life.
Yes.
They wouldn't just deflect off it.
I don't know about the blind ninja, but the newspaper on the blood.
It could happen, man. Disabilities don't stop you from doing anything that you want to
be
do.
Be whoever you want to be.
Be who you want to be. You can be wherever. This is a PSA. No. Sorry.
No, I love this after show so far. This is fantastic. We see one of the barrels start to leak. We don't know what's in it. We can presume whatever we want. Matt defects the chain blade into the light, sparks gas, and we have a fire ninja. My favorite part about this is Nobu he's not like, holy crap, I'm on fire. He just like, nope, now I'm on fire and I'm beating you up as a dude on fire.
He's a warrior, man.
He's a warrior. That's what it was. He didn't even stop. He's just like, I'm on fire now. Deal with it. Let me get a couple more shots in before I die.
I mean...
You go.
No, that's it. I mean, I didn't think he had any other options. Like he has a mission. He's all about honor. He's gonna go out with honor. And I think the hand is very spiritual anyway. They have a thing with, I don't know, afterlife and death. I don't know. I'm not super averse on the hand, but I know they do something with afterlife.
Well, most warrior cultures are like, if you die in battle, that can be the most honorable death that you can have.
Dying a martyr.
Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily a martyr.
Or that. Or maybe he's just a badass.
Both, yeah.
Maybe he just don't care. Screw the hand part.
No, but don't care. I'm on fire.
I don't care.
Guys, I don't know what happened or what I was doing, but I missed the part where he lit on fire. I must have been looking down or something, and they're like fighting, and I was looking at my phone. I looked up, and I was like, what?
Why is he on fire now? This is a weird tactic, lighting yourself on fire.
I thought that's what I thought at first. I had to rewind it. I'm like, did he just combust spontaneously? Like, why is he on
Bold move, God. Let's see if it pays off.
It's like
I think that's silly. No,
it's an anime show where it's like you haven't even seen my final form.
I thought he was like throwing fire and stuff. I'm like, what are they doing? But then he fell down, and I was like, oh, okay, he's real. Like he's a person.
Like he lights himself up. All right,
Holy
next
smokes.
phase.
I didn't think about this.
I fully had to rewind. I'm like, why is he on fire? What happened? Oh my god, it was really sad.
No, it was great.
That happened.
Fisk enters. Thank you for taking care of
I know, like a boss and a dick at the same time.
yeah, exactly.
Just comes in
Just
like, by the way,
a
thanks.
thorn in my side.
Oh my
I'm gonna kill you. Go ahead, take a shot.
Yeah, take your shot. Take your shot.
Fisk annihilated him emotionally, physically. Like, he jumped out the window, but Daredevil, what'd you jump to? Like, let's be real. Like, you jumped out of a window after you were humiliated by your biggest adversary, and I can't.
It's a chance. A chance.
It is a chance, but man, and then your best friend finds out who you are, or you're gonna die.
You're going all sorts of fast with this last sequence.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying at the end
and then
of
episode
this,
10 starts, and it's like...
I'm sorry, but at the end of that whole thing, I was just like, man, there was no part in this episode where I was like, well, at least he got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
At least he punched him in the face and made it like, yeah. I believe.
This is a bad episode for the good guys. Cardenas dies. They get drunk. He gets thumped.
Sorry. When Miss Cardenas died, did you guys notice the cop that was there talking to her? The cigar cop.
Yeah, the good cop.
Yeah,
they're
friends.
friends. They're
I
friends.
want to see him come back. Sorry, I
wanted to see him take over the Hoffman and the other one who got poisoned. Who I can never remember his name.
So we have a good guy on the inside. Maybe that's the win.
Yeah, that could be something fun at the end of the season. Shut up.
Shut up. No, I don't know.
The blow. It's interesting. Another dichotomy between the two of them is Matt was trying to strike so calculated, where Fisk was just bump. Like he was literally striking him like an ape, like overhand, and then just I thought he was gonna do a double axe handle, but then he just picks him up. It was
it wasn't. It was a double axe handle. Then he picked him up, right?
I don't know, because that would have killed him.
I saw a two-handed stomp come down.
I was like, but then all of a sudden he stopped and then grabbed him by the throat and picked him up.
Good old double axe handle. Oh, to Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm out of the loop on that one.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
y'all.
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
sure that's a great reference. I just don't know who that is.
To me, it was anyway. I'm happy
That was
about
a
it.
wonderful reference.
Thank you.
Raises to the top. Yeah. Throws him onto the table. It's like, all right, nah, I'm done with this. I thought this would be more of a challenge. It's like, you had this guy get gutted and stabbed, and you gotta be that ass. That's just like,
I know.
Well, psychological warfare. I think even he knows what he's saying. He's like, let me just destroy him
Emotionally.
Yeah,
totally.
And it makes me feel good about myself.
Totally.
Because he's insecure.
I wanted him to say something like, I know at that point he probably couldn't breathe or talk, but I wanted him to be like, really? You had me get my butt kicked, and now you're saying that this was just easy for you? You know what? Let me get you on a good day, Fisk, all right? Give me some time to heal. I'll be back.
That's why your girl works at a painting place.
I know.
Like, what?
I wanted him to
And Francis
have
is like,
something. Some kind of win. No win.
nothing. Just like he's just walking away. He's like, "Why you're such a dick?" Just choking on blood. And then it's like, you know what? Don't shoot him. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him until he's dead. Has Wesley shoot him, but he finds a stick, throws it at the gun, deflects the bullet, dives out the window, and he's just all blood. All of the blood is in the water. Salt water, though, gross salt water. So now he's all like infected and stuff. And like,
burning.
Salt water might heal. There might be some healing power.
Well, the salt water is there, but also there's the grime of a Hell's Kitchen.
It is New York City.
Let's just focus on the salt. Grime.
Probably stinks now too. That water smells.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, as someone from
Poor
like, if you can't
Daredevil.
swim in that water, if you swim in that water, it's pretty rancid.
Man, I don't want to know what that's like.
I mean, I've Googled it before, actually.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
I was like, you had me.
I just basing this off a Seinfeld episode I saw when Kramer used to swim in the water and he smelled after.
Good reference.
And if Seinfeld isn't right, then
I mean,
It's a show about nothing. It's all correct.
it's gotta be.
It's a slice of life.
Seinfeld's not right. Nobody is.
Daredevil, the Seinfeld of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I believe we can all agree with that.
I wouldn't be against that.
Man, oh, man,
Fisk
oh,
puts
man.
the word out to the docs, put a bullet in the head of anybody who sees the man in the mask. What about Nobu? Let him burn. What an ass.
I know, damn.
And our final scene is, as Jamie mentioned,
Man, I'm sorry. I got
no,
heated.
it's cool. This show gets us all
super
so
heated.
excited.
I just jumped from like a scene to scene. That's my bad, Mark.
Man, the finale was great. Foggy's at Matt Sturge is like, we have to keep fighting for these people.
Yeah. He shows up completely drunk. I'm like,
But totally sobers up once he hears like a crash inside. Like, Matt, buddy.
Best friend love does that.
Oh, it's so good. It's like,
That was really sensual. That was like a really sensual. Should I let you? You guys want to just see it that way?
I'm just saying. You know.
It was really good.
You know.
I was trying to think of a ship name in my head, but I can't.
Fog.
Mufog, the Defiler. He's one of Iron Fist's villains, actually. But Foggy, I thought Foggy was going to try to break down the door,
Yeah.
but he just ends up heading upstairs, heads in through the roof, sees the devastation from the stick fight, and thinks, holy crap, Matt is probably in trouble. If anybody's in here, I am going to beat you up pretty fiercely.
Yeah, I
That's
like
an
how he wasn't
exact
even
quote.
scared.
Just like, I'm gonna beat you up, and just takes Matt's cane, which those, I mean, they're metal, but they're not. It's more like a composer's baton or a maestro's baton or something, but it can do some damage, I guess.
Hit
But
you and you go, ouch.
yeah, ow.
Ow, that hurt.
Anyway.
Shouldn't have done that.
But still, his bravery. I was like, you go, Foggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a best friend. Matt stumbles.
All right, guys. I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong.
No. I didn't say there's nothing wrong with it. With a bet,
He's passionate.
got
And
that-
he loves his guy.
there's different types of like. He loves
Wait,
his guy.
I'm just saying. I was like, play video games sometimes.
Fog Devil.
Or maybe Fog Devil.
So there you go. Yeah.
Probably plays video games and describes it to Matt. Like, I'm
Still
playing
beats
Street
him.
Fighter.
Still beats
You
him.
know, this is called the Hurricane Rana. Hold on. I don't know. It's friend love.
Just like Moggy apparently
Moggy.
is the ship
Moggy!
name. Thank you, Langley, in chat.
Foggy killed it.
Man, these guys are on. Those guys in the
No,
chat
they're
are
great.
on,
They're
boy.
fantastic. Well, most of them. I'm kidding. You're fantastic people. I love
They're
you.
great.
Matt stumbles out and he's like, "Oh, it's the dude in the mask." And Foggy calls 911 after he passes out. It's like, I gotta get. Wait a minute. I recognize that job. Well,
Finally.
this is the thing though. Foggy and Matt have grown up together, so anything about Matt he knows. So this is one of the few things that this is one of the few times where we go, "Oh, of course he would recognize him," as opposed to other. I mean, Karen maybe if she saw him again, might be like,
You're right. I jumped the gun saying that. Nobody's going to put a blind man and Daredevil together. It's just sad.
Well,
We got a lot of shippers of Moggy in the chat.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Moggy.
Moggy.
Moggy. Okay, sorry. I'm done.
I saw Moggy open up for the Dropkick Murphys one time. He pulls the mask off, reveals Matt, end of show.
yeah.
What a flippin' way. Like, I said it before, I don't remember the episodes where we watched them back to back, and it was like, if we had to wait a week to watch these episodes, I would have been mad. I'm mad.
I know. It's that suspense versus surprise. Because we saw him go into the apartment and we knew, at least, like, we all knew, like, he was going to find out that was Daredevil, right? But I wanted to know what comes next. What happens next? What happens when he knows he's Daredevil? What happens? What's their first conversation they have? Does he worried about him being hurt, or is he pissed that he didn't tell him? Like, does he like Daredevil now? Because he didn't really like Daredevil before. What team is he on? Is there Moggy? Is there no Moggy?
Is your Moggy? Is your no? I was thinking that. I thought he was going to come in and
That was a
maybe.
lot of words.
They were all perfectly good
These are
words.
a lot of words.
Yeah. I thought that Matt was going to come out in like a. He was going to come. Moggy doesn't call him Moggy. I thought Foggy was going to come in, see the devastation, then Matt would come out, but already in a bathrobe. Like superheroes always do that. You know, like. Every
That would have
time-
added flame to like, hey bro, what's up? So you let yourself in.
I see you have a huge gash in your stomach and your intestines are on the floor.
No, but like,
There's a bad day. I had bad Mexican food. Just please leave.
Ran to the door. Like, what are you gonna say about
that's
that?
never like a superhero trope, like in a comic book where someone like breaks in and they're like, "Hey, where are you?" They're looking for him. But they just came in like as from Superhero Patrol, and like say Spider-Man's still wearing the costume, he'll put like
The robo.
the
Yeah.
robe over it
Yeah.
and come like, "Oh, hey, hang on, man." That's what I was expecting. I thought he'd come in for
Is
the
that
bathroom.
Spider-Man?
Like, hey, oh man,
Oh, man. But
what
the
up?
show kills stereotypes. Like every superhero stereotype that I've ever seen, I feel like the show has just punched it in the face. Like
Gouged the eye out of
gouged
it.
the eye out of every
Impaled
superhero.
through the
Cut
eye.
it in the stomach.
You know what I mean? And like just as soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh, he gonna find out." Like just because
Like that.
you're right.
Oh, he gonna find out?
He gonna find out.
G-O-N apostrophe?
Apostrophe. Throwing that out
I'm
there.
talking about.
I know. I'm just saying. But I feel like you're right. In every single superhero show, that is exactly what would have happened next. But this
Come
show,
on this side. Like, oh, hey, Foggy, what's
I'm
up?
fine.
Whoa.
No, you're not fine. You just got the
Confirmed Chris Tucker for
crap.
Spider-Man. We're getting Miles Morales like we wanted to, I guess.
Hey guys, I'm here to save the day. So. That's a terrible impression too. That was a bad impression. But yeah.
So, episode 9,
Huh.
by 2/3 of the panel, one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of the series so far.
Absolutely.
On the whole, what did this do for the story of Matt Murdock? And Wilson Fisk, for that matter.
It was a lot. By the end of the episode, it painted them in a not a different light, but it showed more to their characters. Like I know that sounds cliche, but like Matt, I left this episode thinking they were way more alike than I thought they were. The two sides of the same coin deal. They both have they're both tempers and they're both kind of similar, but they're not. Wilson's more homicidal,
Just
but
a tad.
But they both have anger issues. So they're both kind of like, it's like they both started out the same, but they both went different paths.
Totally.
And now they're colliding. And we saw more of Foggy. The in-depth characterization. I just left this episode feeling way more like I knew them better. Yeah. All right.
That's good. The unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
Okay.
I'm just bringing things back to wrestling for you because I know you're a fan.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
Andre and Hogan for you.
Yeah.
Dang it, I wish I knew wrestling.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. It's so stupid and convoluted and big fan.
Big fan.
So moving forward, what does it mean moving forward? You can't talk about it.
No, I can't. I'm done.
Moving forward, I think the next episode can go.
All right,
Oh,
and
prediction.
now your
Prediction.
AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
You are on point with voices today.
Well,
Let me
this-
my hat is off to you, Mark.
He actually did that
Hat
voiceover.
is
though.
off. Your voices are killing
I
it.
wish I was a half of a voiceover artist as Sir Richard Wentworth.
Killing it, man.
She's not kidding though. She's not wearing a hat anymore.
No, I'm not. It's gone.
She's wearing it the whole show, audio listeners. That means you should go on our YouTube page.
That was off. Going forward, I feel like it can go one of two ways. I feel like Foggy can totally embrace who Matt Murdock really is, or he could kind of fight him about it. Just be like, ask him all the hard questions that I think Matt kind of wants the answers to himself. I don't know how Foggy's advice is going to play out for the Daredevil. I don't know if it's going to make things more interesting or a little bit more convoluted for him. I don't know if it's going to get a little hairier. I don't know if Foggy's now going to be the advice giver rather than the priest. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Well, the next episode is called Foggy or Nelson versus Murdoch. So it's going to be the coming to it's seemingly it's going to be all about that.
What do you think?
I think we're going to get a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, this show has been so action packed. If it's just the two of them on their couch talking about it, and then you see Fisk kind of mobilizing while he's inactive,
Wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there needs to be heavy dialogue about this for us to move forward with their characters.
Yeah. And it was interesting how Matt got brought into the fold with the whole thing with Ben and Karen and Foggy, and now it's the opposite way where Foggy's being brought into Matt's world. And
I never thought of it like that.
everything it's their rhyme. It's like poetry. I did not just quote George Lucas there. Do not. It's good. I mean, the show has been nothing but good so far, and even if it's some people say boring.
Who says it's boring?
Stephen Micheal.
next episode?
Twitter.com/StevenLemieux. Tell him that you love him.
Oh, the next episode.
Yeah, the next episode.
I was like, who says this freaking show is boring? Excuse me.
No, just the
It's
next
not a boring
episode.
show.
I don't think the next episode is boring.
Cool. Then we're gonna have fun.
Not to go against my man Steven over here.
No, we love him.
He gone.
Now your ship name.
Goodness gracious.
He gone.
He gone.
So, as we mentioned before, we're only going to be talking about one episode tonight, episode 9, and next week we're going to be talking about episode 10, week after that, episode 11, so on. Hopefully you know how to count and how this will end the whole series. We're going to have
That means more episodes, guys. That means more of you guys.
more time together.
More of you guys. More hanging. More chilling.
Totally. I know. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. We have surprises coming up.
Yes, we do. We might have a great way to get y'all involved in something fun from the show. Well, not necessarily from the show, but about the show. So why don't you guys tell us where everybody can find you on the interweb?
Hey, okay. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Micheal_Drew. That's Michael EAL.
You can find me on the Twitter and the Instagram at Jamie, JamieSelias. Hi, guys.
You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. I do other shows here. Tomorrow we're going to be interviewing Bailey from NXT if you're a wrestling fan. So tune in. Awesome. She's great. She's all about the hugs. Hug life. So and you can follow everybody else here at really got you. She popped for that one. You can find everybody here on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. We'll see you next week for episode 10. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.